Alright, we're on video number 4 and going to start building the back of the cab and some bed sides. So here's a shot of what it's going to look like. So here's the back part of the cab. I need to get rid of that sedan look. I'm getting a good doorpost welded in there, so that's holding the back solid. I'm going to come around and make a tape line. I'm going to go up to the opening in the trunk, and that'll be my top where I'm going to go with. So there's that all cut off, ready to go. Got the doors on. See how that's all fitting and working. This is the very back piece of the cab. The reason why I did what I did with the two ribs is the stock Willys pickups have exactly that same looking ribs. So I just copied that. I've got a pickup so I could copy off of. Building the sides. I've used an English wheel plus some shrinkers and stretchers, and getting that set up to fit pretty good on the back of this back of the quarter panel. Anyway, here's the other side, working the bottom of it with a flange, using my Merchant shrinker to curve that around on the bottom of it, getting it all fit up, Clecoing it all in so it will hold it exactly where I need it. I have a Lennox instead of a Pullmax, and I'm putting in the door opening or door edge on that picture. Here it is, Cleco together, looking pretty good around the back end of the truck. Alright, next we're going to move to the bed. First my idea was to build a whole new bed floor, and then with mounting bracket and that's really stupid. I could just bolt this on and be done. So I just cut off the longer length. This is the stock opening of a Willys that was in the sedan, and I'm kind of using that as a pattern. I'm going to cut the old wheel well off, and now here's my pattern that I have made. I'm going to transfer that to some metal, and I'm going to cut 2 of them out. I'm going to add enough on the edge so I can flip a flange over with my bead roller. You can kind of see it's a handmade bead roller too. I like to build as much as I can, save myself some money. Anyway, here's the wheel well edge welded onto the wheel well to give it a tub look. Not real deep, but just enough to get her taken care of. I got both sides on now, and we got to decide how high, how low, where we want these all to sit. So I'm just kind of looking at that and wondering where to go. Alright, here I'm deciding what I want to do with the bed. If I put a square bed on it, well, I could haul a lot of stuff, put a tailgate in it. Doing something like this makes it look like a wrecker. And this here was my originally drawing that I kind of come up with. So that's how I kind of come off the back, slope down and slope around the back. It turned out that's the way was the best way it looked, I think. This is the front of the bed. I put 3 ribs in it, and I've also bent on top. Now I'm using with a stretcher. Now I'm flanging that over, so it'll be a nice C-channel there to give me a lot of strength on the top of that front of the bed. Also, you can see it wraps around the truck a little bit and comes around the cab a little bit, so it wasn't too narrow. Don't want to get too narrow of a bed in the back. I want it to kind of flow in with the rest of it. These channels are just some 90 sheet metal bent at a 90. Put it in my shrinkers and stretchers to build what the top of the bed is going to be. This way, this will give me a nice straight edge on the top of the bed, and then I can build my sides to that. So I've got that taken care of. Now I'm starting to build a wood buck that will fit into those, and I'm checking it with a contour gauge and wire to make sure I've got a compound curve. It's just not a flat panel when I'm going to get done. This I've got it screwed down to the floor and to the upper channel. Here I've laid a tape line so I can cut off the excess that I don't need. Here's the finished cut Now I can start building my bedsides. I'm going to build it in 2 pieces, kind of big to handle in one. So that's where I've decided to make my joint, made my patterns, transfer that to sheet metal. On the back is going to have to be shrunk over on the top. So instead of using a thumbnail die, I'm just going to use my merchant. You can see it's kind of curled up. So what I did was clamped it down to a flat board with some bigger boards, some flat boards, and hammered and worked this up to keep the sides flat, but yet to roll this over. And then put it back in the merchant and do some more shrinking, and it back and forth until you get that to fit pretty good. Oxygen bottle, that had about the right radius for the front part, so I laid it on that. There's a the section there's flat, so I'm just taking my leather slapper, the wood slapper there, and just slapping that along the front. Then where it curves up, I'm going to have to stretch that, shrink the back. I had to stretch the front. This is kind of a reverse curve that I'm dealing with. Also, as it comes up to the top, you see it kind of flares open to finish that transition into the bed, or into the cab. Alright, here you can see another close-up of me hammering that edge over. Also put a piece of pipe on a welded piece of pipe, and that's another tool that I'll use to help hammer that edge over. Alright, starting to look pretty good there. Getting those bedsides done. Been a fun project. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much. Thanks for watching, you guys.